John from fatsoxblog.com. Today I want to run through something a little bit fun, and that's the 14 key blogging milestones that hopefully you will hit along the way. The first batch is what I call the four firsts. All right. Now the very first one is that exciting moment when you publish first blog post. Now that's a feat in itself, because chances are you're using WordPress and you're setting up posting yourself. And those two software platforms are not the easiest to use. All right. It takes a while to figure it all out. I still forget various steps when I'm setting up a new site, especially when dealing with DNS and all that complicated stuff. So if you've published a blog post, congratulations. You are a very small percentage of the world's population of having built a website, and you can say you can do that. Next, first would be first organic visitor. That's pretty exciting. You will check analytics. Hopefully you get analytics installed fairly quickly. A lot of people forget to do that. And it's not really a big deal, frankly, but it is nice to start to see little bits of traffic come in when you're getting started, because that's inspiring. So when you see that first organic visitor from Google, somebody not your family or friends, that's pretty exciting because you've managed to get free traffic from Google. The third of the four firsts would be first revenue earned. That could be an ad click, might put 12, 20, 30 cents into your pocket. Could be an affiliate commission if you're selling stuff. Could be a sale. Whatever it is, that first sale, that first bit of revenue is really, really cool. It's inspiring, keeps you going. If you can do it once, you can do it again. And the last of the four firsts would be first keyword, number one keyword ranking in Google. Perhaps you're starting a blog and you're not really familiar with keyword research and SEO, and you've just started and you're getting your feet wet and figuring that all out. That's all well and good. I do recommend you learn about keyword research and topics, and how to go after topics and keywords that have search volume behind them, so that you can get more search traffic, because that is the name of the game in this business, especially as a content publisher. And when you get that first number one ranking for a keyword that you intended to target, that is very, very cool, because that's probably going to be generating a nice little trickle of traffic every month to your site. And if you've done it once, you can do it again. Moving along, you get to 10,000 page views per month. Now, this has actual practical significance. Not really. Some of these are symbolic. Some of these have practical implications, and this one's practical. And the reason for that is you are getting to a level where you have better ad networks available to you, and in particular Ezoic. Okay, when you start off, chances are you might just start with the AdSense ads, and that's all well and good, and I use AdSense for years. But generally, at least for me and a lot of people I talk to, if you switch to Ezoic, you're going to earn more money. Their ads are just going to generate more revenue for you. So that's a pretty sweet stage to get to at the 10,000 page views per month. And it's not a whole lot. I mean, it depends on the niche. I mean, if you have a local law website, 10,000 page views per month is a lot. But if you are in the recipe niche, that's not very much. Next one, $1,000 revenue per month. Well, obviously, practical implication is the fact that, well, it's $1,000 a month, which is fantastic. It's four figures, which has a nice ring to it, the symbolic aspect. But here's the thing: you're starting to make enough money that you can actually really reinvest back in your site with content in earnest. That would be 8 to 12 good articles per month that you could be adding. This gives you the resources to start scaling. Next up, moving up the ladder here to 100,000 page views per month. This is turning into a sizable site, decent traffic, and your revenue is growing very nicely at this point, whether you use ads or affiliate or both. And this also qualifies you for some ultra premium advertising networks such as AdThrive or Mediavine. You can apply at this point. It's not a sure thing, though. Both of those networks are fairly judicious. Even if you meet their traffic requirements, doesn't mean that you're a shoo-in. They're going to vet your site, but at least you have the numbers to apply. Okay, whether the $3,000 per month revenue comes after the 100,000 page views or before, we don't know. It depends on how much your site makes per 1,000 visitors. But $3,000 per month is symbolic in my view, because that, for a lot of people, is a full-time salary or income. Comes out to about $17 or $18 an hour. And a lot of starting salaries are in the US, Canada, are around $3,000 per month. So this is at the stage where I think you can reasonably say make a full-time income. You could live off this unless you live in a really expensive area or have a lot of debt or have a high standard of living. If you are frugal, you could actually survive off this amount of income. Okay, the next step, you may already reach this before this point. Maybe you can live off $1,000 a month. Some people can, and that's great. But maybe you need more. At whatever point it is, at some point you decide to go full-time, you quit your job. It's very exciting. And this is the goal for many people who start online, especially when they decide to turn perhaps what was a hobby blog or just a fun site that they were starting and actually started making money, and they realize, wow, I could actually turn this into a real business, and that's really cool. And you do that, and it's going to take a lot of work, but you get to a point where it makes more money than you're earning in your job, and you can jump in full-time. And that means you no longer have to show up to a job. I don't think I have to tell you how good that feels. Okay, moving up into some significant revenue, $10,000 per month, definitely a full-time living. That's 6 figures a year. In fact, this gives you the funds to reinvest very nicely into your site, plus have a good standard of living. This is often the goal or dream for a lot of people. It's if you don't make any more than $10,000 a month, it's still a sizable income, and you could do quite nicely with this. $20,000 per month. Well, this is a pretty high level of income, personal income, business income. And what's nice about this is not only are you going to be able to provide yourself a good standard of living, as well as reinvest in whichever site is generating this money, but you are going to, unless you live extravagantly, you are going to have sufficient money to reinvest in other projects. Now, that may be another website, that may be investing in stocks or bonds or real estate or something. You are going to hopefully have extra money that you can create diversified revenue streams. All right, next up, $35,110 per month. This is symbolic. Well, it's a fair amount of money, but it's also symbolic in the fact that this pushes you up into the top 1% of U.S. earners, which is $421,000 a year. It's quite a feat. The other thing is, I think if you get to this point with your blog or website, online business, chances are you're going to be able to push it even quite a bit higher. At this point, you know quite a bit about this business. It's a matter of time and scaling. Moving into the 100,000 revenue per month, this is over $1 million per year. Obviously going to provide a very good standard of living. It's also going to provide a lot of money to reinvest. This is where you can reinvest at scale in other online projects, or you could invest extensively in completely different types of investments, be it passive investments, so stocks, bonds, real estate, whatever you want, or maybe even buy some expensive artwork or aged wine bottles. I don't know, something that might go up in value, you hope. And lastly, $1 million per month. There are people who do this, plenty of them. Probably never heard of a lot of them, but they're out there. They have big content sites, they have big affiliate sites, they do big e-commerce sites. You name it, whatever model is out there for an online business, $1 million per revenue per month is being made. And, well, I don't really have to tell you what's so special about this because it's a ton of money. This is CEO, celeb level money. And if you manage to make this for a few years and you sock enough of it away, you're pretty much financially secure. So these are your major blogging milestones as I see them. Something to maybe put a chart and tick them off as you hit them all over time. It's very exciting. Each one is very exciting. You may not even realize it at the point or at the time, especially some of the earlier ones, but as you're going along, you'll realize, wow, that was actually pretty cool. So one of the big ones I remember is the first revenue I made. It wasn't much. It was a commission of $9.95. That was very exciting because it took a long time to make that. But once I made it, I realized, wow, I could actually do this. It can actually generate revenue with a website. Very exciting. Thanks for listening.